Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Ceice here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to place in trio cash cups. In the most recent cup, we got 10th, just a few points shy of the top 5, and I'm going to be showing you guys all the right things you need to be doing in order to place in these next cash cups coming up in the season. All right, so I went ahead and labeled all my games, got them sorted out. So starting out with game number 1 here, pretty simple. You just kind of want to, obviously, in game number 1, you want a W key. It's pretty important to have a good game number 1. Most cash cups are, I wouldn't say that they're defined by game number 1, but it's very important to have that high kill game 1 to get you set up when you have a free elo point lobby. So in game number 1, we didn't drop the highest kill game, but it was a 28 kill as I'm showing here. So basically just keying and killing as many people as you possibly can in your game 1 is a huge thing in cash cups, and I think that's definitely one of the bigger things to placing in a cash cup. But game number 1, pretty simple. We got a 28 kill game 1, but past that, I'll go ahead and show you guys game 2 here. Game 2, right off that game 1, was a pretty big choke. We had just gotten a half and half here, as you guys can see, and then on to game 2 here, we basically got in half and half, and I made a really bad edit, and I kind of threw the game. If we got this game to play it out, we probably would have gotten top 5 or have won the cash cup. It's kind of these little things that kind of that throw your tournament, but yeah, basically you'll see here I make a bad edit, and I go back for it again, and this team sprays my back, and I get knocked. So as you can see, I get knocked there, and basically whenever you get knocked, you just got to assume that you're going to be spending that the extra 300 mats and more, and as you guys can see, we get kind of pinched here, which is literally just the fault of just don't get knocked, right? There's not much to it. Especially when you're in this position, there's really no reason for me to peek. We had everything we needed. We had bouncers, we had mats, and now we're beyond shambles, as you can see here. So now when zone's actually moving, we have lower shield, way lower mats, like 300 mats total each, and then I die again by a guy just getting in the box. So that was our game 2. So this kind of just shows that no matter what, you can always come back. Like if you have a decent game 1 and a bad game 2, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, so bad game 2, Tai kind of clutches up a couple placement points, so we end up getting overall, I think he gets taken out around right here. So I mean, there's really not much you could have done. Okay, so going into game 3 here, we basically had to bounce back pretty hard to catch up in points, since we didn't necessarily have the highest skill game 1, and then we also had a pretty bad game 2. Bouncing back was definitely a needed thing. So all that we did here was we based up and tilted, and then we card into the center of the zone. Literally, we card straight in, we set up right here, and here we are. We literally barely run any mats, and we were able to get center of zone because of how dead the lobbies are. There's 58 alive. In a stacked custom, it's going to be way higher, and you're not going to be able to get this positioning. But take advantage of these cash up lobbies and the positioning. And as you guys can see, we only had off spawn kills here. We had 3 kills total as a trio, and we're still going in game confident that we're going to be able to pop off. We ended up getting half and half from our same spot. We got very blessed, very fortunate there. But beyond that, as you guys can see, in 7 seconds the zone will pull. And I think the most important thing in this meta, and I'll probably touch on it in another video, and how to play this meta specifically, is just staying ahead and going early. Like, we have those mats, you guys can see they just capped my mats, and we have probably easily 1500 mats total as a trio. I'm blocking off all of our sides, making sure that we're not getting beamed, because that's the cash up playstyle. You get beamed, you're gonna get pushed. So a big thing here is just staying ahead. Like I said, I feel like that's an easy thing to understand, but keeping your whole trio ahead in these zones is going to be very beneficial. You're going to be able to get front side together and find more refreshes if you're grouped. So a big thing you just heard right there, I'll turn it up and I'll play it again, is since I'm back tarp here, you see how we're spread out here. I'll show you in a sec. So zone's about to pull. I say get ready to go, and it pulls straight back. So I see Tahi's already front tarp there, and as you can see, I tell him to lead. So whoever's front tarp needs to be, I mean, the tarping role should definitely be interchangeable in a trio, right? And that's important in any tournament, right? Whether it's cash cup or grand finals. But having that someone to take over that lead tarp, because those seconds that takes from me to run from the back tarp to the front tarp could be game changing. Fortunately for us, it went straight back through our tarp, but just having that interchangeable role in your team is super important. So see, I calm that, basically simple comms, but as you can see, I have over 500 mats to stay ahead here, and it goes right through old builds. There's really no point looking for refreshes. Even if it's free, it's just a little bit of a risk when you can just stay together and spray through. Also, as you can see, I combo to spray through, and it's not necessarily the best one-man job to have, right? You don't want to just spray straight through by yourself, or try to break through tarps by yourself and claim every piece. You want to have your team with you, and that's a huge thing, right? And as you can see, I finished the tarp by getting further in that zone, and I'm all the way on the opposite side of zone there, literally all the way on the other end of zone. So we wait for zone pull. The unfortunate thing here is we didn't go out far enough, I'd say. So as you can see, the zone pulls to the right here. I tell him to drop low because I see it's free. The problem that happened here, and it didn't necessarily get us killed, but it very well could have, is as you guys can see, I call zone pull, right? So I see it calls zone pull. I think the problem here is, since we're kind of a new trio, right? We've never really played with each other. He's trying to lead, I'm trying to lead, so it's like very, very mixed comms for sure. He ends up getting fought, and the tarp is shambles, and they have to run through at a very, very sketch time, and I think they end up getting caught off guard. But luckily, no one came back in between us. It was very, very sketch, but the fact of the matter is being able to stay ahead with your trio and not take those fights when zone's about to pop. You want to make sure you're ready to go for the next zone, able to stay together as a trio for that start of that zone. You can't really tell where the marker goes here. Obviously, with an airdrop and with a purple marker up there, you can't, like I said, you can't tell where the mark goes, but you kind of have to expect that it's going there because you don't see it anywhere else. So I make that comm, and it ends up going right through tilted. I don't know why they changed the marking system in the game, but not sure how simple died there, to be completely honest. And we are on low ground here. As you can see, we are the lowest team, so staying ahead is super, super crucial here. Big thing that I did here is we got the free kill there, and instead of just finishing the kill, we grabbed the body, and you can grab the body from such a far range, right? So we get that, and I get the mats from him, and we just kind of keep going through, right? Now that guy's gonna come out there. You can kind of see him. We both expect it. We both get ready to spray and kill him. Boom. Pretty simple. Here was a mistake that we made. We should have sorted out the HP as he got that refresh. So we should have been calming that, you know, Tahi, you're playing heal off. I'm gonna be out of storm. You need to tank storm. But instead, he ended up taking 2 ticks to try to fit us both in the storm. He actually ended up tarping and tanking those 2 tips. So it's basically just a free for all, right? You're just trying to go and get as many elims as you can, and also at the same time not feed the other team. So I end up getting that. Tahi gets my finish, so we get that point right there, and it's just a heal off, right? This meta is literally just all about that. So ends up coming into a heal off. We lose the heal off because we don't have the splashes and the floppers to win the game. So boom. Second place though in a cash cup, very, very, very good. That was our game 3. So yeah, going on to game 4 here. Jumping right into it. Same thing. We had off spawn kills, and we just go straight into zone. We don't stress about keying. You don't necessarily need to do that. If you're consistent in game and you know your team's good in that in-game scenario, just get into that in-game, and you don't necessarily need it. So we get a free kill there. In my opinion, playing low ground in trio tournaments and any tournament is really, really free, especially trios. Playing low ground and doing it right is just free top 2s. So I just try to full tarp this and get ourselves on a good layer here. And now that we're past that sketchy part, we're able to free tarp here and literally just burn through every single mat we can to get into that third moving whatever way we can get that free placement. So we wait for next zone. As soon as it pulls, instantly go. Now here we're in a way going out of zone, but as you can see, we're able to get a freer position in the zone by being edge here, right? Instead of going diagonal and snake tarping our whole way through the zone, we just stair tarp outwards, get ourselves onto the dead side position of the zone, and then you just tarp from there. So we definitely could have gone back, or you know, maybe saved mats, but it's definitely the safest way in a cash cup format. Just go through and just get on that dead side. As you can see here by the minimap, very, very important detail. So as you can see on the minimap, if you go ahead and cross yourself in, let me get a full picture here. As you can see, the zone is going to end up going right through here, and if you kind of tarp yourself in straight, right, if I can draw a straight line, you're going to be ending on this side, right? So you want to go up into the left here, so that way you end in the middle, right? You want to end in the center area, or if you can, end on this dead side over here. No one's going to be over here, and especially no one's going to be over here. So if you can get yourself to that left hand side of zone, you know you're going to have it free. And this is just a general tip in cash cups and in customs, right? You want to try to get to that dead side of zone in the moving zone. So we're able to do that. As you can see here, I'll show you. We go ahead and climb layers because I can see that there's players on these layers here. And then you'll see I go out to the left here to get away from everyone that has to collapse into the spot. So I start going out, going to dead side of zone here, and I comment as well to my team here. You'll see. I'll let you guys listen. Going out to that side here, so my team knows that I took a hard left or hard right. Boom. I'm on dead side here, and like I said just in that picture, you can see that I'm now lined up with the center of that zone and away from everybody else. And yeah, we basically finished here, and as you can see, we had this whole right side open. We don't have to fully tarp here. So by us going to that dead side, we literally save mats on the future tarps. So that's that. Very, very free. Zone pops again. We instantly go. We have the chance to do it. And then here, I see that I'm far enough ahead of zone, and we have the chance to drop to that low ground layer. So we drop layers here because being second height in wood is just definitely not the play. So we just keep going, keep tarping in zone, and we end up getting a nice refresh here in right before final zone. So we get that, throw the body forward towards the zone, grab the loot. I end up getting really good mats, so I stair tarp the whole way through. And right there, as you can see, I piece control that team off of that layer, off of that spot. So I basically force them into us. So you'll see here, I go down. I see that there's guys right here who just placed that brick cone, right? I know that's not mine. I know there's a player in that box. So I go out, I grab that to force him into a weird edit or to force him down so we have a freer layer here. He has 4 floppers as he comes. I mean, that was our loot going into the end game here. And I have 6 splashes. So we were able to save all of that into this final zone just by tarping on the dead side of zone. So now I get mats off that body, and we are on ulti low here. We tarp out the whole way. 25 seconds on zone here. So I tried to tell him to wait, but he goes, and he should have realistically been in my position because we would have been an extra 10 seconds on zone. But here I basically run away from zone since I know they're going to be there, and I end up getting 2 free kills on zone. And that's pretty much it. We literally tarped the dead side, and we were able to save mats, and then we also dropped layers. We were able to cut teams off and grab that low ground free. And we just lose a heal off. That's literally just the fault there is by just not getting enough white heals, or just not playing medkits, or also just not playing that storm, right? So we should have ideally had more mats to play storm. We could have saved mats earlier on, or saved mats in general, but haven't played storm for longer, and then just have more white heals. Like, that's just the meta that we're in. So that was that game 4. Going into game 5 off of that back-to-back second place here, we're landing at Sweaty. So basically coming down from Sweaty all the way to Caddy. As you can see here, it's literally opposite side zone. So our rotate was very, very, very far. We had to rotate, I believe the rotate we did from Sweaty was through here, cutting through right here, down in between Lazy and Retail, went right through this road and brought our car straight to here. Ended up basing right here, stopping for a bit. When zone pulled, we got center of zone right here, and then zone literally pulled, you'll see again, it pulled all the way, I think it pulled up this hill here. So you'll see this by watching, but we were able to get dead center of third with 3-3-3 on mats. Like, we gaskin this team, get a free refresh here. Having this 2 gaskins was huge. So even though we were shambles, we were able to get the refresh here, and it wasn't enough, unfortunately. So zone pulled far again and down a hill. We got 1 bouncer from that guy, our very first bouncer of the game. We bounce her down, and we don't have enough mats really to full tarp and to play super protected. And now that Tahi's taking damage, it's like, I think here what we should have done is just wait and follow teams. Tahi just got hit a lot, and there's really no point in lead tarping here when you're this low on mats. Even though it is trios and you can get held pretty hard, we're really shambles on mats, and like I'm leaving my backside open here. You really can't do that. As you can see here, this team jumps on our right here, and it's just like, you just need to wait and follow a team if you're ever doing this. So that was a fault on our part, and that's why we did that bad that game. We ended up dying right here because we're trying to force this. We have to force this kill in this team, and it just goes bad. So yeah, they literally just full wipe us because we're so shambles. Going into the next game, game 6 here, we obviously have good positioning because we card into the zone. I said this earlier, but cars are super important and competitive right now. It's literally keeping your card at the highest HP possible and able to car in as deep as you can into third is important. You're gonna get the best positioning every time. So here was actually a solo clutch from me at the very end. But basically this team got sprayed out and we were able to get a free kill by spraying them down. So we're gonna bounce off this back wall and make the edit. Boom, we bounce her in. This is a team that we know is a duo. We know it's a guaranteed duo. Unfortunately here, Tahi gets literally double pumped by both of them, and then they do whatever they can to full kill Tahi because we griefed their game earlier and they wouldn't grief us. So super unfortunate. I even tried to carry Tahi's body out here. You might not be able to tell, but as you can see, I'm spamming that, but also spamming to pick up the body and throw him back as fast as I can, and it just wasn't enough. So unfortunately we lost a player to that, but we were able to get max mats and tarp into the next zone pretty free. So literally getting any opportunity we can to get damage and kill teams. We go in wood here. Don't know what that guy's doing. Like I said, cash cup players, like what is that guy doing there with his tack? Just running out. So we get in zone, or we start tarping towards the zone. He gets a refresh here. I don't think we actually get that kill. It goes up. That's a very sketchy edit there. He ends up getting, I think he gets caught by that, but definitely very sketch. And this is the downside of playing behind him zone, but the upside of it is we're as a duo, right? So we don't have a third teammate really in the back strangling behind, and so he's still end up able to get with me. So we tarp in. He comes that he has max mats, and we're in zone here just waiting for next. So first get ahead, tell him to go up. He ends up getting killed. And here now I'm forced to play as a solo, right? There's not much I can do. He just gave me a big mat refresh, so that's huge. I'm able to go into the next zone as stacked as possible. So it's really not the end of the world that he gave me these mats. Solo clutching in cash cups especially is super easy. So yeah, basically now my goal is to just follow behind teams and go late, use my mats as cheaply as I can, and that's exactly what I do. So you'll see here, follow behind all these old builds, trying to wall everything off. Almost actually get caught out here, but I'm able to get out just barely. So I get up and zone pulls far. 12 players alive at this point because it went up a hill and back down. So the lobby is dead. I've gotten a lot of placement points already, and we already have a good amount of kills. So realistically, it's not that bad of a game. Here, I'm trying to follow this guy down if I can. I actually missed that shot and almost had a guy with a jetpack. So that guy was definitely scary, but we pull a top 5 this game. So free points for us. The fault this game was not really anything in my opinion. I think that like there definitely was that risk of pushing that duo, but it's a cash cup duo, and we knew who the duo was. We knew it wasn't a good team. It's just really unfortunate that Tahi got literally double pumped and basically just double teamed as we got in, and then they were able to piece control these walls. Just like we would have done that anyways. It's not like a fault in anybody, right? So still able to clutch a really good game there. But that was our game 5 or game 6. Game number 8, this was the big game we needed. This was the big 30-point game that we needed to pop off. Going into this game with 0 kills, but we had center positioning, right? We were able to do the exact same things that I told you guys in the past. Car into the zone and grab literally perfect positioning. We got a quick refresh off that. Team died and we were harpoon. And then as you can see, half pulls, right? I go ahead and scout the rotate here. I see that this like center line path is pretty free, and that team has a very free rotate, right? So he gives us peppers since we were able to get those earlier in the game. We all pop, and then I put a bouncer out. Keynote here, putting the bouncer out on a hard mat is very important. Brick or metal is especially good, right? I don't know why I mentioned that, but brick and metal is the only hard mats. But yeah, so we literally just use our peppers and just get in. I don't know how we were able to get a free rotate this game without height looking at us. I actually knew I know the player that was on height, and he said to me that he had no ammo, so that's why they didn't really look at us or shoot at us much. But yeah, we were able to literally pepper into second height this game, and in that stacked of a game when you know the players aren't good, like I would not recommend doing this in a grand finals where you know that tight team knows what they're doing. They're going to shoot you and like literally beam you. Like you're not going to be able to do this. But in the cash cup, these players are not the greatest, right? They're they're quite awful. So I'm literally able to make even a small protected tarp, but still able to get on this height positioning, which ultimately wins us the game, right? If we're going any smaller layer there, which we could have stopped in that zone, we could have stopped right here, right? We could have very well finished the tarp right here, and then we would have gotten a second place or whatever. But this literally was the win condition for the game. And yeah, we won the game because of this. So I calm the height is free. They're literally in wood, and I can kind of almost see through that wall and that stair that I know that not many people are in that box, right? No one's really showing themselves over the stairs, over the cones. And we're second height in metal. They have no idea that we're looking at them. So I split their bouncers. He has a pepper left, and we just bounce the pepper up and send height here because it's almost like a you know, a win situation, right? We do this and we get top 10 in the cash cup. We don't do this and we maybe pull a top 15, top 25. Like it's like do or die basically, right? So a big thing that I comp for my teammates here, and I'll let you guys listen, is we go up, we calculate it, we time it together, so we're not going up as solos. But the big thing to take from this is the build don't shoot, right? Build don't shoot is a super easy comm you can give to your teammates, but having that like that leader role and giving that to your teammates is important, right? You don't want to be going up and having your players just jump at them with shotguns and throw your game, right? You want to build, don't shoot, right? Very simple. I see that they have an RPG, and I also see that they're all three bounce it over, right? So that's not good. The good thing is though, we did some damage on him when he bounced it over, and so we were able to just basically send it on height. As you can see, they weren't all showing themselves. It was just one dude with an RPG. I would say the fault for them, if I can correct another team, is literally that they just didn't have all three up here. If they were all three up, or even two up with two ARs looking at us, and then we probably would have had to give up height, and we probably would have died on this rotate over. But since there was literally just one guy shooting a rocket that takes 10 seconds to reload, we were literally able to just bounce straight over. You see his healing. They're not able to peek. I end up dinking him on the way over. And then boom. We have it. Luckily I don't die there, but I tell them to play ultimate height, hold the high ground as much as we can. I don't want them to stay on the same layer as me while I'm healing. So I calm that they're going to cost a bouncer, free kill, free refresh by a triple spraying. So by that simple calm, we were able to get a mat refresh for the moving zone. So all the mats that we wasted trying to build by height and wasted getting over was all recovered right there. So this guy ends up sending height. I'm pretty sure it was RPG player, but my team had already been tarping out. As you can see, Tahi's already tarping out and leading, which is exactly what I calmed, right? So simple comms there that we can shoot up height, which is very important. So I end up bouncing. He cracks him on height, and then I make the do or die play, right? I send the height, kill him, box him, get the RPG, and now it's game over from here. We've already got 5 kills going in the moving zones here. I tell him to get up, and it's just tarping from here on out, right? Height in this meta is super good. So like if you're able to grab the high ground in any of these games, it's almost like a guaranteed win or a guaranteed top 2. When you're at height, you want to stay situated, right? Get everything sorted, get your heals out, get everyone shielded back up, calm what you have for heal off, calm what you have to pressure, how much ammo do you have, simple stuff like that. But I think the winning moment in this game is literally us sending that height and being able to get in that second height position of half and half. That in itself was what won us the game, right? And sending that height and just doing, like I said, the do or die. Like if you don't fight this height team and you don't end up getting high ground from them, your game is, one, it's thrown. You have to fully commit, right? It's over. Your game's over. It's thrown. 2, you're not going to place in the top 10. You're not going to even place in the top 25 if you don't get that insane pop-off game, which, like I said, it's already been thrown by you sending the high ground. So we got the high ground position in Storm to make sure that no one else can take it over. And he ends up hard pinning old mats. So we get stacked, and now it's just fragging at the very end, right? It's just whoever can get the most kills. That's literally it, right? So, and that's exactly what we do, right? We literally just fully aggro. I RPG those guys. I hit one of them, and I think I end up getting a kill there. So that's a free kill right there. And like I said, we're playing aggro because we need these kills. We need all of these points. We literally need every single last kill here. I make a play in Storm while they're making edits and they're piece controlling, as you can see right here. They're grabbing everything in front of these teams, cutting everyone off. I'm playing back zone, making sure that this is obviously I'd say this is a pretty important thing, but always make sure you're trying to finish these kills in Storm, because this guy could have been very well knocked to Storm, and then I get that kill on him, get a 3-point and free siphon, right? So it might seem very stupid to kill some guy in Storm that wasn't your kill, but those are the reasons why, right? Like you want to make sure you get that kill point if you can. And then here, just playing at the final moments, literally just absolutely piece controlling those teams, and and fragging out at the very end, getting as many kills as we possibly could. And that's where our cash cup ended. We ended at 187 or 190 or something like that. I mean, that's a lot of footage and a lot of things to watch over, but I think the main things to take away from this video would be, in your final game, if it's a do or die, send it. Like, you need that. You can't play like so scared and so patient, right? You have to make those big plays, right? Secondly, I think we learned in game 2 not to make, you know, crazy edits or even edit at all when you're in positioning in cash cups. I said this in the middle of the video and at the beginning, like literally these cash cup players are so dumb that they will make the worst edits possible, and the worst, like they will literally throw their game to kill you because they don't understand that there's more points to be had later in the game. Like, as stupid as that sounds, that's literally how it is, right? In game 4, we basically touched on, you know, what it's like to stay low ground and how you should play on low ground, having all your team spray ahead and stay ahead. Also, we learned in, I believe it was game 5 here, when you don't get moving and you don't get half and half, it's okay to follow teams, and that's the mistake that we made. And if we, like I said, if we had this game and we were able to get 5 to 10 points out of this game, top 5 finish overall. Like, it's like these very small things that would have just made the games that much easier and made the overall scoring and your prize winnings that much better. So literally the smallest mistake by just not going ahead and staggering here, or just not going straight in instead of like wrapping all the way around. You'll see here, like I said, I burned all those mats, but I mean, that sums it up. We didn't really play super aggressive this cash cup. We literally played off spawn kills and then played in game. So, and it placed us top 10 overall. So that just shows that you don't necessarily need to key in order to win these cash cups. But that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys want to see in the future, and if there's any other things you guys want me to cover. I'm probably going to make a video on duo dreamhack and how me and Elige played so well in semifinals to qualify for the grand finals, because I know a lot of you guys struggle getting to the grand finals. So I want to help you guys qualify, and I want to see you guys placed in the top 5 of the next trio cash cup. So big things coming. And yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys want to see from me in the future. So with that being said, that's all. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys later.